Hello and welcome to Afterlife Topics. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel or becoming a patron at patreon.com/Afterlife Topics. In the prior video in this series, I discussed why meditation is not a prerequisite to have an out-of-body or astral projection experience. That said, meditation can greatly assist if you do take the time to develop this skill, and I'm going to explain why in this video. There are many ways to define meditation, but one way that I define it is taking control of your consciousness. Very often our consciousness is in control of us, and we go about our day basically being susceptible to anything that happens that affects us. Emotional issues, crises, stress, even happiness and joy. But all of these are external factors that make our consciousness into something that's being manipulated like a puppet on strings. Meditation is the ability to take control back of your consciousness. And in relation to out-of-body and astral projection experiences, this becomes a primary tool to not only initiate but sustain an experience in a parallel reality, which is one way to define the astral projection process. So how do we begin? Mindfulness is likely the best style of meditation for having an out-of-body experience. And the way mindfulness operates is learning to be present in the moment, precisely wherever it is that you are with what you are doing. And I like to define it as a greater appreciation of the world around you. So what this means is that if you are gardening and you are completely immersed into the process of gardening and you can feel the flowers and you can smell the aroma of the soil and your thoughts are not at all occupied by work or family or stresses, but you feel almost at one with the task that you're doing, the objects around you, and life as it's unfolding around you, then you are engaged in a style of mindfulness meditation. This meditation is just as valuable as any other type of meditation, including transcendental meditation, but I think it has the most significance because, again, for those of us who are not so talented at sitting on a sofa and entering a transcendental state of mind, you can do this anywhere. You can do this while you are washing the dishes. And it's also a skill where you can become better and better at doing it. And as you become better at doing it, you'll find yourself capable of immersing into the environment with whatever it is that you are doing, which in fact increases your capability at those tasks because you become one with what it is that you're doing. So in the case of washing dishes, you will become one heck of a great dishwasher if you can enter a true mindfulness state while you are doing it. Now, here is the reason why this is so crucial when you are entering an out-of-body or astral projection state. When you're in this state, you are not any less susceptible to emotions, including emotions like fear and excitement. The primary thing that knocks people out of an out-of-body experience or out of an astral state is that they feel either extreme excitement or extreme fear. Those emotions knock you back into this state of existence. And as a result of that, it's difficult to sustain an experience. You find yourself on that side, sometimes for only a couple of minutes. Now, a couple of minutes in an astral state or being outside of your body can be a life-changing experience. But wouldn't it be nice to be able to sustain it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, even indefinitely, as some masters are allegedly able to do? Well, there is only one way to do this, and this is by mastering your consciousness and the environment around you. And the key to doing that is, once again, mindfulness. So when you are able to connect to that side, the more your mind is free of anything else happening, including thoughts coming into you via the external world, via the context of the situation, which is, oh my God, I can't believe I'm out of my body. Oh my God, where am I? What's going on? If you can separate yourself from that context, then you can engage into the moment. And when you are engaged in the moment, the longer you're able to do that, the more you're able to sustain the experience. And the other element of this is that the more frequently you're able to do this, the more easily you'll be able to enter lucid states of consciousness, so that you can transition a dreaming state or even a lucid dreaming state into an astral projection state, which, once again, this relates to the ability to become hyper-focused on the world around you, the moment, and not being carried away by different external stimuli or thoughts or ideas that are penetrating your brain, wherever that brain is located, whether it's a brain we have there or a brain we have here, whatever the case may be. But the seat of our consciousness is always being interrupted by things that enter it, often because of our imaginations. And fear itself is oftentimes an imaginary process, because we're imagining something bad that's going to happen, and then that imagination knocks us off our horses. Imagination is also a great tool, but we don't want to use that if we want to connect to the moment and connect to an environment. So being out of body, being in that astral state, it is a tenuous situation, because it's not what we are naturally accustomed to here on this world. In fact, really, there's blinders in place that we're not supposed to be accessing that place and remembering it. In a way, somebody once described the whole process of what we do as being reality hacking, and in a way, I agree with that, because we are basically using our consciousness to bust down the doors of reality. For whatever reason, we have this thing that they call the veil of amnesia, where we come to this planet and we don't have memory or awareness of our multidimensional lives. We're just basically focused on the lives that we have here on this plane, on this reality. And astral projection, out-of-body experiences, and so forth, is we are taking charge of our minds, of our consciousness, to bust down those barriers, bust the doors down, and regain access to our multidimensional selves, which is our true selves. So ultimately, in essence, practicing mindfulness will help you to maintain states of astral projection. It will help you to become lucid during sleep states, and it will help you have a more impactful experience, not just when you're projecting, but also in a day-to-day life. Kind of like when you're a kid again, and you can connect and enjoy things and be excited about things that you're not usually that excited about as an adult. Mindfulness allows you to really enjoy the environment around you without being so clogged down by adult type of thinking, which is stress, fear, concern, anxiety. So when you were a kid, you were so excited to eat a bowl of Lucky Charms, and although I don't think that's the healthiest thing that anybody should eat, as just an example, if you were great at mindfulness, you could pour a bowl of Lucky Charms and feel like a kid again, because you're so connected to that moment. And likewise, if you are about to go out of your body, and normally you'd be full of fear or anxiety, or you would panic once you arrive in that state, the mindfulness techniques will teach you to just go with the flow and be absorbed and connected to every event as it's happening, as it's entering your consciousness, which will allow you to sustain the experience and ultimately be able to have a length of experience that many people do not get to have. As a final note, when I am out of my body or projecting, I'm often scrambling to enter that state of mind as quickly as possible so I do not lose the experience. And what I typically do is I will find myself in a new environment, and then it's a matter of clearing my mind and focusing on what's directly in front of me as best I can. For some people, it's their hands. For me, it may be objects or it may be talking to somebody. But the idea is I want to almost forget that I'm in this amazing astral projection state and just focus on the now, focus on the reality around me, and let that be the thing that guides my experience. That's it for this video. You can get involved at afterlifetopics.com, pick up some books of mine like Understanding Life After Death or The Afterlife and Beyond, or work with me and I'll do coaching for you. In regard to astral projection or other subjects, I actually offer this as a bonus to anyone who joins as a patron at the $30 mark. I will, within reason, meet with you as many times as you like if you join as a subscriber. That's what I am pretty much doing all the time on my computer, is I'm doing Zoom calls with people who are subscribers and helping them have their experiences, or helping them through their sticking points, or helping them understand other concepts about the multiverse or life after death. And so you can do that at the Patreon at patreon.com/afterlifetopics. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.